get your mind together. Then come on
Thank you for joining us this evening on The Experience. Coming up, we're going to be talking with Mike Mudd, the president of your Worcester Sharks. They're coming to the end of their season, and it's been a very exciting season. They've also made sure that they're going to be staying here in the Worcester area for a long, long time to come, and we're going to be talking with Mike about that. Nicole Valentine from the American Red Cross of Central Massachusetts back with us again this week for the second time this week as we're talking about the Heroes Breakfast, and also, Len, we're so pleased that you could be here, and Cherylann as well. We were talking the other day when Nicole was with us about the fact that, of course, our thoughts are just with the people of Japan and all that has been going on there. And I think that for many of us, we couldn't help also but flash on the fact that, that Haiti and the devastation that we saw there, because it's different pictures, different images that are coming from Japan. Your daughter, Brittany, for all of us here in central Massachusetts and really New England and really in many ways across the United States, became the face, a focal point for us to better identify, I think, with what happened in Haiti as we all kind of thought about our own families and heard your story. Len, you're just back from Haiti. Literally just back the other day, where you've been going there every other week. You're putting together an orphanage. Tell me a little bit about what it has been like over these last months, because you've really poured your energy into doing something positive.
Yeah. Well, I've been to Haiti 6 times since December 23rd, and we've had 6 trips. Recently, Cherylann and I and our youngest boy, Richie, was there as well. I think what people in the United States forget, not the people in Haiti, according to Time magazine, 95% of the buildings in Port-au-Prince are still in rubble. And what that means is all those lost souls, all those people that perished that day are still in that rubble. And so every time I fly into Port-au-Prince and drive out of Port-au-Prince to Gengel, where we're building our daughter's orphanage, I pray and I think of those people and I think of their families, and I feel very blessed that we can go down to St. John's Cemetery and we can say a prayer for our daughter and know that she's there and know that we gave her a Christian burial, and that's, very important to us.
Cherylann, I think that for a lot of people, we live in a world in which it's just these 24-hour news cycles. We saw the entertainers come and we gave money for Haiti, and we got to see them sing or whatever the case was, and then it ended for many of us. But here, because we keep reading, that the stories and we keep seeing the work that you're doing, I think that we're a little more aware, and it stays alive a little bit more about what's happening in Haiti. But to hear that 95% of the buildings are still rubble, it's really amazing. The connection that you've made perhaps with the people of Haiti, what's that like?
I've been down there twice, and I'll tell you, the people of Haiti, Brittany, when I had talked to her on the phone, and when she had texted me, she loved their spirit, and she said, "Mom, they have nothing, but they're so happy," and she'd put that in writing to me, and it's so true. They have nothing, but they're so happy, and their spirit is what keeps us going, and the people of Haiti are beautiful people, and when you go down there, I can see why Brittany fell in love with Haiti. I really can, and the children.
Right, she had really said that, she'd really felt that she had found her calling.
She did. She really, really did. And as her mom, when I spoke to her only 45 minutes before the earthquake, she had such peace in her voice, in where she was at in her life. And as a 19-year-old, she was at that crossroads. That's why she was going to Haiti. And so to actually hear her voice in that, for her to find her calling, for her to find her passion, and for her to want to give back as her parents, we're just thrilled and proud.
It strikes me, a lot of people can live 90 years and just keep searching and never find what she was able to find, to be able to see that. Len, as far as the orphanage goes, I guess that there's all different people would do different things. Some people would just never want to come on a show like this and talk because too painful. Some people would build an orphanage as you're doing. What kind of drives you? What made you decide that you really wanted to do this for Brittany?
Well, I think it's what Cherylann said. The text 3 hours before the earthquake, they worked so hard, they have nothing. I'm so happy, they're so happy, I want to move here and start an orphanage. That to me was the sense of purpose. It was a gift that she gave us, and we just feel we have an obligation to our daughter to honor her last wish, as any parent, any father would do. And I think of that quite often as we're in the perils of Haiti and not going through some pretty areas. And I think what people have to understand about Haiti, and you don't get it until you get there, until you feel the people, see the people, is when we say they have nothing, there is no social program. So there isn't a place they can go and get a meal. So that's why people starve to death. That's why people die in Haiti so needlessly. So our commitment is not only to build the orphanage, that'll take 1 year to 2 years. Our commitment is for the rest of our lives to honor our daughter's last wish and to help the children, especially of Haiti.
Nicole, I know that you see this through the American Red Cross, but it seems so unimaginable to most of us what Len just described, that there can be places in the world where you can't have clear water or running water or be able to get a meal.
It's devastating, and we were working with another hero last night, the Belmont Street Baptist Church, and to hear the stories of children having to hold a ticket to stand in line to be fed, you can't fathom that. We're so blessed here, and to see it, and to see what people do just to survive every day, it's incredible.
You know, what it will mean to the people of Haiti to have that orphanage is one thing, but Cherylann, what it means to the people of the United States, what it means to the people here in the community here in central Massachusetts, and I know that people are donating and helping out in ways that they can, I think that it means a great deal to people here to be able to be like Britt. It's
been overwhelming to us to see the compassion that people have, and that's what part of Be Like Britt is continuing the compassion, and that people are really good. As devastating as this is for us, in that every day that we miss Brittany, people are good. People want to help. People want to make this world a better place. And I could tell you so many stories, but I mean, there's our little friend Jocelyn, who's 10 years old, who gave us her birthday money, and then we did wanted to fill the box truck with tools that were going to go to Haiti, and she asked some of her friends, and her mom thought she'd get enough money to maybe buy a hammer or a screwdriver. Well, she raised $620, and so, I mean, that's just one story of thousands of young people that want to help, and so those are the things that tear us up, that Brittany has had an impact on so many people, and we're thrilled.
There is this huge impact, Len, through Be Like Britt now. There's also, though, I mean, you know, the great work and the great strength that the two of you have to be able to have gone forward and have put together Be Like Britt, and, you know, to do the work that you're doing now.
You know, our organization has been built while in grief, you know, of the loss of our daughter. And, you know, some days are very hard. Some days you don't want to get out of bed. And some days we just know that we raised her to always look for the good in people. And we just know that she wouldn't want us to just stay in bed, that to get up and to do something and to help the children of Haiti. And that's what inspires us. I mean, there are times, Hank, where I told Nicole this story last week. We're building a bridge to get to our daughter's land, and I'm walking through Tent City, and I'm in human squalor, okay? And I mean waste and sewerage and you name it. And I'm in tents that are so hot as I'm walking through the paths. All of a sudden I hear a cell phone. And this beautiful Asian woman comes out of the tent on a cell phone. And I think that exemplified Haiti. In some ways, people, you know, are living in squalor, but yet they have new technology of this great new century. And it's backwards in some ways and forward in others. And, you know, it makes me smile. It makes me go, okay, there's hope. And what I try to do while in Haiti is be a teacher, be a beacon of hope for them. And I talk all the time to these I have beautiful guys, young men, Baptiste and Panchuk, and I try to explain to them that, you know, that we're going to do good things. This is progress, and this is people helping people, and all these little orphans that are begging on the street are going to be up here someday, and we're going to do this, you know, in our daughter's memory and to honor her, but ultimately it's for the children of Haiti.
Right. It's a great vision. I mean, what do you see down the road? Where are you right now? how long until completion? And
well, I arrived at 8 o'clock last night from Haiti, and spoke to my clerk of the works, Kervin Gama Perrison, who's from Athol, Mass., who moved to Haiti. And as of last night, Monday, they finished digging the final trench. We employed 25 Haitian men and 1 Haitian woman to cook for the men, so we would provide a lunch and a snack while they were working for us. And they finished digging the last trench yesterday, and now they'll spend about the next week and a half raising the grade of the land in those trenches so that it's all level around the entire site. We'll do that with compactors. We'll use new technology that I brought down there that folks donated, and we'll get that, they'll get that to perfection, and then I'll go down with the team on the right around the 25th, 26th of March, and I'll be going down for an extended period of time to actually start doing the rebar work and doing the concrete work. And I think it's important, and what I'm also trying to do when I say be a teacher is I'm trying to show good construction practices. And this is very hard to the Haitian people because they've been trained to do things a certain way. Well, their buildings collapsed. So our orphanage, Britt's orphanage, has been designed with the same seismic standards as San Francisco. Say that quick. So we know that this building, for every layer of block that goes across, there'll be a half-inch rebar in that grid. For every other hole in that block, there'll be a rebar vertically coming up. We brought hand vibrators down to vibrate the concrete. You know, we're going to be showing them how to build something correctly so that it will withstand, God willing, the next earthquake that would come someday.
Wow. Boy, that's fantastic.
You know, to us, the greatest tragedy would be if we built this building to honor our daughter and have something happen to it in a natural disaster.
All right. What can we do to continue to help?
Honestly, everyone can follow us on Be Like Brit on Facebook or belikebrit.org. And right now, we are doing fundraising all year long to get the building, because if we don't have the building up, we can't help the children inside the building. And hopefully within the next year and a half, the building will be completed and we will have children in there, and you know, the 33 girls and the 33 boys, and then from there we just, who knows what'll be next, schools and things like that to come.
Well, coming up straight ahead, we're going to be learning about the Humanitarian Award that's going to be given out at the Red Cross Heroes Breakfast that's named for your daughter, and we'll tell you about that coming up on the Hank Stolz Experience.
The answer, my friend, is blowing.